Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Headed to the gym right now. Just a little bit late. It's 1:30. Usually I go at like 12:30, but we had a late meeting today. It was a bit longer than usual. And then I also logged on this morning and got some work done. So my afternoon's a little bit more chill, hopefully. But a few things I wanted to address. The first thing is Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's looking amazing, and we broke out of our short/midterm downtrend. So ever since we hit a new all-time high of 112K, Bitcoin's been in a downtrend and has fallen all the way to basically 100K and held strong. So we dipped and we didn't really have any like new price discovery, Usually what tends to happen is when Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high, we tend to explode after. But this time we hit 112K and dipped to 100, like I said, and are, I think, back to like 107, 108K right now. So the moves are happening pretty fast, and I did say that June's going to be a very, very bullish month, as well as July, is what I think personally, especially for alts. I think ETH just flagging within like a 300, 400 point range and not really breaking down either, holding firm and, much stronger than BTC shows a lot, and the ETH BTC ratio is just flagging. So as a whole, the whole cryptocurrency group looks amazing, and I do think this week will be very explosive, and I think starting next week we'll see some nice price movement in alts especially. So the play is to be in Bitcoin plays right now. I think with IWM relative strength since last week, it shows that the market is in risk on mode for the next few weeks, and all dips will be bought. Once we'll have true price discovery on Bitcoin, we'll see a lot of Bitcoin proxies, Bitcoin plays on the stock market, such as Coin, Bitcoin miners, CLSK, Mara, Iron, Wolf, Riot, Coinbase, MSTR, all those stocks will do good. And they're also just flagging right now. So all that sector looks amazing to me. We have Bitcoin interest going down. So a lot of people are shorting while we're moving up. I think I saw that it was more than the 74K bottom, and we're currently at like 108K. So that's amazing to see. It means that we probably do have fuel to reach 130 to 140K, which is what I've been targeting by July. We'll see if that happens, but that's what I think. And as a whole, the market looks very strong. We broke through 6,000 on SPX. The Nasdaq has been leading the charge with semis very strong, even before the Nvidia report. But AMD, that was such a laggard last year, has been performing very good as of late. Avigo dipping right now, but it was the first one to hit a new all-time high. Nvidia's performing well. ARM, with a lot of 2027, 2026 leaps, has been performing very, very well as well. So the whole SMH group, semi sector, has been very strong, and with semi strong and small cap strong, we have a recipe to blow out shorts in the short term here and in the midterm. So I think this will last a few weeks. I think we're in for a good market here, and there's going to be a lot of life-changing money that can be made in the next couple of months. Now, I wanted to address Elon Musk and Donald Trump, their feud right now. It's kind of confusing, but basically, Musk has been supporting Trump ever since he got shot back last July. I believe it was last June or July. And, he publicly endorsed him and was there alongside of him during his campaigning at the end, in October, November, and was there on election night and celebrating with him. So he was a big part of Trump's cabinet, worked with Doge, did a lot of cuts. They anticipated $1 to $2 trillion in cuts. They only reached like 300 billion. Not only, but very far from their target. And Elon, I know there's like a specific rule. You can only serve like 160 days or whatever it is without getting paid, or else you have to be on payroll. So he served his time and now stepped away, but left a good foundation for the Doge group to keep cutting. And everything was peaceful. I remember last week they did a conference. Trump gave him a key to the White House. Everything was good. He did have a black eye. People started speculating some things, but as a whole, everything looked fine. In my personal opinion, I knew that the Trump and Musk relationship wouldn't last that long. Now, I said at the end of the Trump term they probably wouldn't be friends, but I didn't anticipate it to be this quick. They both have, I'm a huge fan of both of them, but they both have their own things going on, and their egos, it just wasn't gonna work. And they started bashing each other last week, and Elon started bashing the bill, the big beautiful bill that Trump keeps advertising, raising the debt ceiling, I think $5 trillion, and then increasing spend by $3 trillion, when the whole point of this administration and how they were advertising it was they need to do cuts. They don't want to raise the debt ceiling that much. They wanted to cut costs, pay off debt, and they basically completely 180'd and realized the inevitable, that you just have to keep printing money. Not to that extent, which is probably the biggest bill ever, spending wise. So that's a bit of a shocker, but other than that, nothing very surprising. So Musk publicly bashed the bill on Twitter, and then they started asking Trump, what do you think about that? And then Trump started bashing him on the media and saying that he wasn't happy with the cuts that they made with in terms of EVs and stuff. But I feel like that's bullshit, because Trump from day one was saying that those EV incentives were going to get cut, and Elon knew that. So I don't think it's because of that exactly. I have no clue. I'm not gonna speculate, but it just doesn't make sense. And Elon just started going crazy, saying he's in the Epstein, Trump's in the Epstein files, and all sorts of ridiculous things, and clipping him from the past, saying that they need to cut the deficit and all that. So, and then Trump was asked, and he said that he doesn't think they could be friends again. Stuff like that. I think it's very petty. I think both of them are better than that, and both of them, at least on good terms, is better for America as a whole and just the world. Trump started threatening cutting SpaceX contracts and all Elon's company's fundings. I don't know. I think this is all petty, and they even, as of late, both said they wish well for each other and stepped away. Elon deleted a lot of tweets, so I think he got a phone call from someone from the White House and told him to chill out. I think right now everything's good. Tesla stock got hit, I think 15% in a day off of that news. Bounced back slightly since, but I'm very bullish on Tesla, and I think it's a very good buying opportunity right now, under $300, with robo-taxi being announced sometime this month, allegedly. And as a whole, June and July are very bullish months for Tesla, so I think it's worth the jab here, and riding it back to 400 sometime, 400 to 500 sometime this summer. So I do think everything will get resolved, and robo-taxi will come back in the picture and be the main headlines and attraction for Tesla, instead of those the Elon versus Trump stuff. So I think it's a good buying opportunity, and I started buying I've already had a big position in Tesla, but I'm buying a little bit more now. So just wanted to update you guys on what I think about those topics right now, and hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. If you want to join a free Discord with a bunch of like-minded individuals, a bunch of traders, we have around 200 members in the Discord completely for free. Link is in the description below as well. And please leave a like, please subscribe. It does help the channel out a lot. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.